You are listening to This is Oklahoma, hosted by Mike Hearn, telling stories of Oklahomans and those that have made it their home.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma Podcast. Mike Hearn here, your host, back with another episode. Excited to share this episode with you today, but before we do, I've got to thank our sponsors. First of all, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame. They've been a huge part of this podcast for the last few years. So the Oklahoma Hall of Fame have been sharing Oklahoma's story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com. And for daily updates, go to oklahomahof on Instagram and give them a follow. Our other sponsor today is the Chickasaw Nation. Now, the Chickasaw Nation have sponsored pretty much everything in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and it's an honor to have their name and their brand supporting this podcast. A huge shout out to Governor Anatobi for supporting this podcast. It really means a lot. Our third sponsor is Diffie Ford Lincoln down in El Reno. Now, this one makes me so happy because these guys are great friends of mine, play a lot of golf together. I've bought my cars from them, do most of my oil changes down there, have a cup of coffee, hang out down in El Reno. It's a good spot to go. And not only are they great friends, but they provide a great service. So for over 60 years, third generation family owned Oklahoma business down in El Reno. They're also in Bethany as well. So people in the Bethany area know the Diffies really well. But if you're looking for anything new, used, Ford, Lincoln, or whatever, I'm sure they could find anything you want. Check them out, diffieford.net, and then on Instagram at diffiefordlincoln. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of This is Oklahoma. Mike Hearn here, host, back with another episode. Today we are in Nichols Hills Plaza, and we are in Balliets, and it's only the second time I've ever been in the store. I think I came in maybe a couple of years ago to look at, my wife needed something, and I was completely lost. So we're back doing a podcast, which I feel much more comfortable here now before the store opens. But it gives me great pleasure to introduce my guest today, Jessica Mirales, who is the owner now of Balliets and has been the owner for a couple of months, which, I mean, this is your baby now.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. So excited and just grateful and honored to continue the legacy that Balliets has built over the last 87 years. So
yeah, we were just talking. You celebrated, or the business celebrated, its 87th birthday a week ago.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 87 years. So we had a great event last week. It was really successful. Lots of people came out to celebrate with us, and we had a lot of fun.
There's not that many businesses in Oklahoma City that can say they've been around for 87 years,
That's
especially
right.
in the fashion industry.
Yes. Retail in general is, it's a hard industry to survive. And for it to have not only survived but thrived for 87 years is just something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, it's a brand that's been around obviously for 87 years. A lot of people in the area know it. And, you got generations of families that have shopped here, right? Like
That's right.
Granddaughters and generations
of people that have worked here as well. Just so many lives, I think, have been affected either by, shopping or having worked here for a long time. I was on a historical thread the other day on Facebook, and people were talking about their wedding dress that they got at Balliets back in 1945, and it was just it's neat to be a part of something that has so much history.
Yeah, we'll dive into that in a second, but first I want to set some context and kind of share your story a little bit. Tell me a little bit about you. Did you grow up in the area? You kind of used to this area?
Yeah, so my husband and I moved here about 14 years ago. He's in oil and gas, and so that's what brought us here. And I have a business background. I ran a nonprofit for a long time, which we had talked about a couple of years ago. And then I am a publisher for a magazine in Nichols Hills called The Neighbors of Nichols Hills also. And so I love business. I love small business. And when I was brought the opportunity to purchase the store, I jumped on it very quickly.
Yeah. So growing up then, do you have parents entrepreneurs? Obviously you're business minded. I'm interested in kind of where that comes from and what examples you had growing up of entrepreneurs or to be business minded.
Right. I come from a very entrepreneurial family. My parents started an office supply business out of their garage with the $300 they had in savings, and they built a multi-million-dollar company out of that. And they actually just sold their company and went into retirement, but I learned so much from them on how to treat customers and, just how to run a successful business. And so I'm excited to carry that on too.
Yeah, that's, a front row seat, right?
Yes.
From ground up, $300 to start to
yes, so
finally
inspiring.
exiting. Good for them to get their retirement.
Right? Yeah.
I'm sure they're ready. Oh, that's brilliant. So tell me a little bit about the publishing side of things. You just a lover of kind of print magazine or magazine in general, or just publishing? I mean, where does that come from? Because obviously there's business, but publishing's a whole other animal too.
It is, yeah. What I love is Nichols Hills.
Okay.
We moved here 14 years ago, and it just has been the most amazing and incredible neighborhood to raise our family. It's been a neighborhood that's just given us so much over the years. And so what I wanted to do was to give back and give the neighborhood back and help archive the memories of the neighborhood. And so we started the magazine. It's called The Neighbors of Nichols Hills. And really what we do is just highlight local residents and just archive local memories. It's been a lot of fun. It's been kind of a passion project that's turned into quite a successful business.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Do you have a podcast for it yet?
No, I don't. That's something we should look into.
Yeah, I mean, you're interviewing these people for writing stuff. You may as well just record the interviews.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Another business opportunity there, right?
And all the free time that I have.
Oh, of course, all the free time. Now running a store, being a mother, all of the things, working multiple jobs. The podcast thing's easy. You just need the equipment and time. Time is the biggest thing, obviously. But yeah, it's a lot more fun. You're sitting down with these people anyway, right? You're hearing these great stories, and now you have this business, which, that those stories, some of them may tie into the business, right? You were talking about people coming to find their wedding dresses here, and
exactly,
it's a huge part of the community. This store is
exactly.
In this area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's super special.
Yeah, I'd been talking to the director of UCO a couple of weeks ago as well, and she said that they have a fashion historical archive of clothes, and she was like, we've got so many pieces from Balliets, throughout the years, and so we're getting ready to get together and go through some of that, and I'm excited to do that too.
Yeah, we chatted a little bit before. I asked you it was this a love of fashion over a love of business, and you said no, you're a business person more than love of fashion. So we're going to stay away from talking fashion because I know absolutely nothing about fashion. I'm a typical kind of media person. I wear black t-shirts all day long, unless I'm on the golf course. But as a business, kind of what, when you moved here 14 years ago, like what was kind of like your first memories or first time seeing Balliets in the business, and not just the clothing side, with the beauty side as well,
sure.
Right? So what stands out to you?
So I think I'd been in the neighborhood. We'd just moved. I think we'd been here 3 or 4 days, and we were on a walk in the park area of Nichols Hills, and the current owner of the store at that time, his name was Bob Benham, and he was on a walk with his dogs in the neighborhood, which he does every day, and he stopped me and he said, "You look like a new face," and he was like, "I want to invite you to come to my store," and so he introduced me to Balliets on probably day 3 of me being here. And so I stopped in later that week, and the ladies were just so helpful. It's a place where you kind of feel like you come home to. You walk in, everyone. It's a place where everyone knows your name type thing. And so I became a loyal Balliets customer on day 3 of living in Nichols Hills. And it was all because he stopped me and recognized that I was a new face and invited me to come in. And so, I've built a relationship and a love for the store over the last 14 years. And it's been my favorite place to come to purchase anything that's, special.
With meeting Bob for the first time, walking his dog, inviting you to the store, someone recognizing you as a new face, that's kind of a nice feeling, right? Especially if you just moved here. And, we talk about community and the culture of Nichols Hills, and obviously the publishing side of the things, that's kind of what ties you into. You love the neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And that's another example of that.
Right, absolutely. It's such it's a homey place to live. It's kind of a Leave It to Beaver neighborhood, in my opinion. And for him to just recognize that I was a new face, and as the owner of this store, you do recognize, so many neighbors that just come in and shop in the store, and it is a way to really get to know the neighborhood in a more special and intimate way.
Yeah. So obviously over the last 14 years, you've been in the store, you've been a loyal customer of the store, and you've seen Bob and stuff. And when does it start that you're kind of interested in thinking, you know what, if this were ever to come up, if they were to ever, just move on, want to do something else, retire, whatever it is,
right,
would I jump at that opportunity? Did you kind of just keep tabs over the years?
No, it wasn't on my radar.
Okay.
My husband and I are both small business owners. He owns an oil and gas company, and I, was a publisher of the magazine. So we're always interested in any type of opportunity that might come our way. Bob had contacted me about advertising in the magazine. And so we had a meeting that day, and he joined the magazine family, and he approached me that day and he said, you should think about buying my store. I think you would be a great person to continue the legacy. And I kind of laughed it off that day and thought, oh man, that would be amazing and be incredible. But I just didn't, I didn't think he was serious. And I brought it up to my husband later that day, and he was like, if he's serious, we should absolutely jump on that. And he said, go back and talk to him again. And so I went back the next day, and we've just continued discussions, and it just became my heart and soul about, 1 week into discussions, I was just attached so deeply and so excited about it. And it's just been, I eat, sleep, and breathe Balliets now. So it's just been, it's a dream job for a woman to be able to come in and, be a part of something like this. We offer brands that aren't offered anywhere else in Nichols Hills or in Oklahoma City for that matter. And, it's just a very special and unique niche that we've got. So.
Yeah, that's super unique, right? And you're tying in that with the history of the store in 87 years and everything that comes together. And you as someone who has grown up around small business, like that's almost the complete package, right? Maybe it is the complete package. It's got everything you kind of want and need, and especially the community aspect.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, it's special to me, in more than one way, just because it's a place that I've called home, that I've enjoyed just coming into, even just to talk to the ladies. I might not buy anything that day, but I might just have a few minutes and want to come in and, just try on a different mascara for the day, and it's just been a place for me to come and just enjoy for the last 14 years, and now I get to come every day and be a part of it in that way too.
It's amazing. So. Tell me a little bit more about the business. If someone to ask you, hey, what is Balliets? And they've never been in here. The first time you're meeting them, what do you tell them?
Right. So we're located in Nichols Hills Plaza, which I have to say is just the best location that we could possibly choose. The foot traffic is fantastic. There are so many wonderful local businesses that are, in this little area, and it's been a wonderful location for us. It's a smaller location than what we've had, and I really, really like that. It's a cozier, more approachable spot, and it's just packed every day. It's always, the parking lots are always packed, and so we really like that. So we're located in Nichols Hills Plaza, and we offer all sorts of high-end designer brands. We've got Valentino, Christian Louboutin, Balmain, and then we offer a lot of, easier contemporary pieces as well. So we've got over 100 different brands that we carry, and we range from apparel to shoes to cosmetics. I just hired an esthetician, so we're going to start offering spa services as well. So we're really excited about that. Yeah. It's just been, it's a one-stop shop. I like to maybe even describe us more as like a small, like a mini department store. So.
Yeah, you look around and you see multiple. You don't just see like, oh, it's clothing, right?
Right.
There's a lot of stuff in this store.
I mean, we offer hair care products.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just anything you can think of.
Yeah.
We've got, or we've considered carrying.
Yeah.
So
let's talk a little bit about kind of, when you start getting serious about, and Bob is serious about selling this place, and he says, maybe you should own my store one day. And then, like you said, you're all in, your mind starts going, you're thinking, how do you bring your expertise and your values to Balliets, right? As an addition to what it already has and the history it already has. Like, how do you, it's not like you're coming in here and you're ripping things out and changing things. Like, you have a great product, but you want to bring your spin on it. And, you've grown up around entrepreneurs and seen your parents grow a business.
Sure.
Does the mind just start racing and you start riding on legal paths of what you want to do? Like, talk me through that.
I mean, I dream about, I have ideas. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I write ideas down in the middle of the night. I can't stop talking about that. My husband and I will go on a date night and he's like, Jess, you want to chat about something else besides Balliets? So, I mean, it's my mind is constantly racing. Of course, I want to continue the legacy that Balliets has built over the last 87 years. I don't have any plans to change Balliets per se. I think that we have a wonderful product as is. I am obviously quite a bit younger than the previous owner, than Bob, and so I do want to bring maybe a younger spin to the just, I'm a mom of 3. So I might have my hair in a top knot some days while I'm here, and so I want Balliets to feel approachable for people. I want people to feel comfortable coming into the store in their yoga pants. So, we're creating a very comfortable atmosphere for people to come in and just feel, easily invited. I was very lucky to come into a staff that is very, very well versed on how to run the store. Very experienced staff with decades and decades of experience, and so I'm really thankful for that. We've brought a few new faces in as well, and we're just excited to move forward. Yeah.
I mean, it's like that perfect mix, right? Of employees that know the business in and out. They've been here forever. They know all the customers.
Right.
And then that addition of, okay, how do we add to this that just takes it to the next level? And that might be marketing. That might be, an esthetician. Like all of these little additions that you're just, incrementally making the business, better. So.
Yeah. And Balliets is 87 years old. So, I mean, just imagine where it started technology-wise, and it's really survived and been able to move with the times so well. I think we're ready to even take it into the next, the next era of technology as far as marketing is concerned, and then also as far as we have interest in maybe taking it online. So it's we have lots of ideas and.
Yeah, it seems like a missed opportunity with such a brand, for 87 years and, going to up to 100 is the goal, right? Like for most people in Oklahoma, like getting to 100 years in business is rare. But, being around for that long and talk about, moving with the times, like online seems like, because you already have the brand, the online side, I don't think if you opened an online website, it wouldn't lessen the traffic coming in here.
Right. And that's, in my opinion, I don't like ordering something online and having to order 3 of whatever I ordered and then take the time to return it. I want to be in the store. I want to feel the fabric. I want to see what it looks like on. I want to be able to pair it with different things. It's a much more personal experience. And I think there's value in small businesses that, provide that personal experience for you. We deliver for people. So if you see something that we post on Instagram and you want it, we can easily just deliver it for you that day. So you don't even have to come into the store. So there are things that, aspects of small business that I think are just so important so that we don't lose that human connection. But I also think that there are people, that are maybe 2 hours away that don't have the time to come up to the store that, an online an online purchase would be easy for them, easier.
Well, or people who have grown up in Nichols Hills, right? And work has taken them away, or they've married and they've moved away somewhere, or, people do seem to move back to Oklahoma, but there is a significant period, and if you speak to a lot of people probably in Nichols Hills, they've at least spent 2 or 3 years somewhere else.
Right.
Even if it was just college.
Absolutely.
And one thing I'd love to dive into a little more too is, the things with small business and what sets you apart from, the big box stores or online websites is what you just mentioned, is going above and beyond for those local customers and those customers, right? Delivering things and, just having that personal touch and that relationship means so much more than a customer just going on the Louis Vuitton website, picking out something and getting it shipped to them, right?
Absolutely.
A box with a bow on it. Cool.
And we also, we've got an in-house alterations person as well. So if you have a wedding on Friday and you're really stressed and you come into the store and you find the dress that you like, but it doesn't fit just quite right, we can get that done for you before your wedding on Friday that you've got to go to. And, that's not something that you get with with an online purchase either. So
yeah, I can see why your business brain doesn't turn off, because there's so many little parts of this business, right?
And many things.
Yeah, and every little, we just talk about clothing, right? And you talk about, having that personal experience, having alterations, but then you talk about the beauty side, and that has 5-6 different arms to it, right? So
absolutely,
it's probably really nice for you to be able to lean on those employees that you have here and hire great people, and will continue to work with great people because they're the value as well, right?
They're who make Balliets. Yeah. So we've got an incredible, we've got an event going on right now for Natura Bissé, our skincare line. And, we're just constantly, creating and thinking of different ideas for events and different ways to celebrate the neighborhood, different ways to, get people in the store to have fun. Just that's an hour in the store, might be that person's, favorite hour of their week, and we want to make it that for them.
Yeah.
So.
What is your dream, vision, goal? I mean, do you see yourself being here like Bob and walking around the neighborhood and whenever you're ready to be done, just finding someone and says, you'd be perfect. But what do you see? What do you envision going forward?
Absolutely. Like I said, I eat, breathe, and sleep Balliets now. So I'm here all day long. And it's been really, really neat to connect with the customers in the store too, and be able to shake their hand every day and tell them thank you for coming in. And yeah, I love the neighborhood. I've been a part of the neighborhood for 14 years, and this is our home. We moved here from Houston, Texas, and just fell in love immediately and said we're never leaving. So my dream would be to own the store well into, my older years, and then pass the legacy on to someone else.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And you mentioned being a mom of 3. Are the kids old enough to have any interest in business yet?
They're all business minded because they have, generational influence there. But they're 12, 10, and 8. So not quite. But my 8-year-old daughter, she's already talking about when she can come work at Balliets. So
that's cool to have,
she's
right?
Excited.
And a friend of mine, his family business, they have a car dealership, but he's one of 6 kids, and they would always be on a billboard somewhere.
Yep.
They put the kids to work. Mm-hmm. I thought that was funny, but with the social media stuff too, and just tying in marketing, social media. You talk about it, but seeing someone on Instagram and having it shipped to you or bringing it to the door, we're so much closer to the product now than we ever were. Mm-hmm. And even though you work to maintain those personal connections and having people come in the store, you've also got to focus on someone scrolling and how do I capture that person scrolling.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And so I brought on a new employee. Her name is Brooke, and I think she's done a fantastic job of that. She does a great job of connecting with our customers, and has created some really interesting content online I'm really thankful for. And so, and we're constantly thinking of ways to pull the public into our social media as well. I'd love to start doing some try-ons with neighbors, that come in, and maybe they share that on their Instagram as well. And I think that's the future of marketing. Obviously I'm the publisher of a magazine, which is it's a great way to reach the local neighborhood from a nostalgic standpoint. But we also offer digital advertising too, and I think digital is very important right now, and social media for sure.
Yeah, you mentioned you have an event going on right now. Do you have kind of like a full calendar of events? Do you have like a marquee event every year that you throw maybe for your birthday or something like? Right, listening?
Yeah. So we had our anniversary event last week with we had several things going on, several trunk shows. We had a Jimmy Choo event. That was a lot of fun, very successful. Really, we have something going on about every week. So if you just kind of keep an eye on our Instagram, we are announcing, what event is next all the time.
Yeah.
So
do you have a favorite?
The anniversary event is really fun, and it's a week-long event that we really get into. We've got balloons in the store right now, and it's that one, and it's just special. It's something to really celebrate. It's hard to survive 87 years in retail, and again, we've not only survived, we've thrived, and I think that's something to really celebrate.
Yeah, and back to when you first went to your husband and said, I think. Bob wants to sell the store, and he's like, yes, basically,
just
right?
Without even a pause, he just, yes, absolutely, yes. Where do we sign? Go. Because it's just known for, we're strong, we're stable, we're a staple, we're stable, and we're a staple in the community, and it's just something that we just jumped at when we had the opportunity. Yeah, we're so excited.
So one of the main reasons we're doing this podcast is because we're leading up to Small Business Saturday, which is at the end of November. And, it's not just this business. There's so many other small businesses in Oklahoma City, and so many just in this area that you're in. And you talk about being in Nichols Hills Plaza and Classen Curve and great foot traffic. Do you have an event planned yet for a Small Business Saturday?
We do. We've got a sweater weather event, that we're going to be putting on that week, and then I think we'll have a special promotion as well for that, and I think it'll just be called Small Business Saturday. Yeah. So.
Favorite time of the year is sweater weather. It's my entire closet. That's when I probably dress my best, because I have an abundance of sweater weather and an abundance of jackets and coats and stuff.
I've been forcing fall into my, I am just sweating every day, but just refuse to have anything with short sleeves on right now. It is time for sweaters, and I'm miserable, but it'll feel good soon, I hope.
We're in that kind of like awkward period where it's cool in the morning, and then you get to like 11:30 noon, and you're like, okay, that was a bad idea.
Bad choice. Right? Bad choice. Yes.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Jessica, thanks so much for opening the store early so we could chat, tell some stories, and people could get to know a little bit more about you and a little bit more about the business. And, it's been around forever. They recognize the brand, but now they know a little bit more context about you and new ownership, which is incredible.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored to be on your podcast. I love it and follow it and listen all the time. So thank you so much.
Thank you. For people listening, it's at Balliets on Instagram and at Balliets Beauty, which I'll link those below, so you can go to that. And keep an eye on the Instagram for future events. Small Business Saturdays coming up. And we will catch you next episode. Cheers.
And you might want to follow also Nichols Hills
Plaza.
Nichols Hills Plaza as well.
Let's do that.
Because there are so many small businesses in this area. I think it'll be a really fun Saturday for, you can just kind of walk the entire...
walk around. Right.
Yep.
Go to Trader Joe's and get some food and come back and walk around.
That's right. We've got
cool
restaurants. It's been great. There are restaurants, and I really love that, because people can eat at the Hutch or, Osteria, and then they can kind of walk around too.
It's such a good area. It really is.
Right.
Yes, come to Nichols Hills Plaza, walk around, get some food, shop, and don't worry about how much money you spend, because it's worth it. Treat yourself. And we'll catch you next episode. Cheers. Hope you guys enjoyed that great episode. Thank you so much for listening. As always, huge shout out to our sponsors, the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, sharing Oklahoma story through its people since 1927. For more information on the Oklahoma Hall of Fame, go to www.oklahomahof.com and follow them on Instagram for daily updates at oklahomahof. Our other sponsor, the Chickasaw Nation, amazing sponsor. They do amazing things for the state, and they're always sponsoring something in Oklahoma. They're a huge supporter of Oklahoma, and without their support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. And our third sponsor is Diffie Ford Lincoln down in El Reno. Now, this one makes me so happy because these guys are great friends of mine, play a lot of golf together. I've bought my cars from them, do most of my oil changes down there, have a cup of coffee, hang out down in El Reno. It's a good spot to go. And not only are they great friends, but they provide a great service. So for over 60 years, third generation family owned Oklahoma business down in El Reno. They're also in Bethany as well. So people in the Bethany area know the Diffies really well. But if you're looking for anything new, used, Ford, Lincoln, or whatever, I'm sure they could find anything you want. Check them out, diffieford.net, and then on Instagram at diffiefordlincoln.
Thank you for listening. We are inspired by those around us and hope that you are too. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform and leave us a review so we can keep telling your stories. For more great Oklahoma content, follow This Is Oklahoma on Facebook and Instagram.